Hello everyone, and welcome to another Top 5 Records video, and another one in this series in which I'm taking a closer look at the full discography by the Beatles. And today it is time for the second video in this series. And what other album to review than With the Beatles, an album released in 1963, which, just as Please Please Me, will have its 60th anniversary this year. Only Please Please Me was released in March 1963, and this album was released in November 1963. So perhaps when we're reaching November, there might be a bit more attention for this album and its 60th anniversary. Now, when I did the video for Please Please Me, I thought, I just heard these early versions of the band, and when I go to the next one with the Beatles, I thought I might be a bit let down because obviously I've heard this album a lot of times. I have a couple of pressings of it. I have two first British pressings mono. I have a first British pressing stereo. I have a beautiful British pressing from the 70s with stereo pressing with stampers from the original pressing but on 70s vinyl, which is also beautiful sounding. And every time I bought one, I listened to it. So this album is definitely not a stranger to me. But when I thought I'd put it on, and I thought if I'm going to listen to it in chronological order, I might have, how do you say, things to say. Well, when the needle hit this album, I had nothing left to say. Damn, this is good. Where Please Please Me sometimes suffers that out of the context, and it might not always work. Please Please Me has great songs, but it also has some songs which are okay-ish. With the Beatles is a tour de force. It is something to be reckoned with, and anyone who listens to a good mono pressing or the original stampers or a good pressing of this album, you notice this is powerful. It has so much, even more energy than Please Please Me. And first of all, I noticed the way it was recorded. There was more detail to this recording, and you can hear that. And that's an interesting situation because Please Please Me was recorded at 14 tracks, and 10 of those tracks were recorded in a single day. Now, that's almost unimaginable by today's standards. And very often, when you go to the second one, people will think like, no, just do the same trick again, make it easy. Yeah, do it easy. And that was actually the same thing that they said to the Beatles. But the Beatles said, no, we're going to take more time. This one was recorded in 7 sessions, which still, for a record with 14 songs, is very little time, but they took more time in the Abbey Road studios, and you can hear that on the song quality. The quality of the writing is so much better, and the quality of the recording is so much better. Now, they also improved as a band. I mean, not only were they getting more acquainted to studio techniques and recording and better technical musicians, because of the singles and the albums, but they were also frequently working together with the BBC. So they were getting better and better in tight playing, and you can hear it. I mean, they are better. Also, the eye for attention is tightening here. Is that a sentence? Sorry. The focus is getting stronger. They want to get more out of a record. For example, this photograph, I'm not sure what the name was of. Robert Freeman, who they contacted, the photographer. They contacted him because of some work he did with John Coltrane. They decided, we don't like the cover of Please Please Me. It's too easygoing. We want to take control with regard to the covers. So they contacted a photographer they liked, they were fans of, and they thought of the concept, which was kind of artistic in those days. I still really enjoy the cover. But you notice that the full product of the album is becoming more important to the Beatles themselves. And that makes this such an iconic moment in music recording history. and releasing history and the element of an album. Now, if you take a look at the track list, it's just amazing. It won't be long. Side 1 opens with "It won't be long, yeah, yeah." I mean, such a tight, strong opener. Bomb, knocks you down. All I've gotta do. Second song, third song, all my loving. I mean, so good. 4, don't bother me. Great song. 5, little child, little child. I mean, disturbing lyric. Very disturbing lyric. Little child. I'm so sad and lonesome. But the melody in these lyrics is so good. Till There Was You. It's also a beautiful song. And then ending off side 1 with Please Mr. Postman. Oh yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman. I mean, the last 2 songs, they are covers, but played so energetic and so good, so tight, beautiful melodies. It's really great. And then side 2, a Chuck Berry cover, Roll Over Beethoven. Now, I thought I'd kind of be disturbed by that because when you listen to the original by Chuck Berry on a good mono pressing, it is just rocketing song, and the Beatles do not beat that. But in the context of listening to the albums in a chronological order, I really noticed, if you compare this Roll Over Beethoven to what they were doing on Please Please Me, it's much more of a kick in the nuts than when you compare it to what Chuck Berry was doing. So they do not beat the original with Roll Over Beethoven, but they are constantly beating themselves and the quality of what they were doing. So in this context, I find it very interesting. But if you've got to choose a favorite version of Roll Over Beethoven, it's easily Chuck Berry. Hold Me Tight. I'm missing it. I'm not singing it right. Hold Me Tight's a great song. You really got a hold on me. I Want to Be Your Man. I Want to Be Your Lover, Baby. I Want to Be Your Man. Great song. I mean, these are all so good singable songs. She's got the devil in her heart. And then when the backing vocals are doing the no, I mean, beautiful lines and how they are taking over the space. Not a Second Time is a good song. Might be the worst on this album. Yeah, might be the worst on this album. Although it's not bad, of course, but I think all the other songs are better. And then end off with Money. Man, what an amazing album. I mean, the name of the channel is Top 5 Records. Shall I choose the top 5 of Beatles songs on this one? It's tough. It Won't Be Long. All My Lovin'. Devil in Our Heart. I Want to Be Your Man. Money. Ending off this album with Money. But then again, I could easily switch some of these songs because this is just a banger. A banger. One hell of an album. A Moment in Time. It is just adorable. This is not the Beatles who are experimenting or something like that. They are just completing their craft. They are getting on to what they were doing. They are understanding what they are doing. They understand their market. And they take it to the next level in quality terms. I love this album. Now, what do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Leave a comment below. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.